Hi, this is a tutorial about Inkscape. I'm not an Inkscape expert, but I created my logo using Inkscape. And this is how I did it. So let's start Inkscape. First of all, you have to know Inkscape is for free. I added the link to this application to the description of my video. So for creating my logo, we first have to create a star. A simple star, this is a shape you can just select here from the toolbar. And now you have to define how many corners the star should have. I keep this here to 9 corners. Now just drag this here onto your canvas, select the color. Yeah, and I think this will do. It is a star, but I don't want to have a star. I want to cut these corners out, but we will see how this will work later on. First, let's add a simple circle. I hold the Control key while I drag this in, and this gives me a perfect circle. First, I change the size of the circle by using the arrows that appear at the edge of the object. Then I duplicate it. This can be done by pressing Ctrl D. Then you duplicate your object. And now I again change the size and I hold again the Control key to get a circle and not an ellipse, an ellipsoid or whatever it is called. I will use this later on for cut out the corners, but we will see this in a moment. First of all, I want to cut out the inner part of this star. So I select the small circle, and now there's a cool way to align objects. First I select the circle, and then I press the Shift key and select the star. And when both objects are selected, then I choose Align and align them horizontally and vertically, and then both objects share the same center. And now I can do what I was going for. I select Path and Difference, and this means I cut out the object at the top, the small circle, from the star. And now the next operation. I select the small circle and put it to the top above the bigger one, then align it just I did it for the star and the circle to the center vertically and horizontally like that. Then I choose Difference again, and now I have a ring. Then I align this ring to the star, change the size so that I will cut away just the corners. Again, align it, and now choose Difference, Path, Difference. And now I have this wheel that looks just a bit like the same I use for my logo. The last part is not very complicated. I choose the text tool and add in here J and N and M. Select the text here, choose an orange color, and then you can just size this, increase the size and move it to this position. Yeah, I think this will match. That's okay. Now duplicate again with Ctrl D, type in the M, adjust the size and the position. Again, duplicate. Center it like we did before. Choose a lighter color and resize this to a smaller size, just like this. Okay, I think that's nice. That's the way I created my logo with Inkscape, and in the next tutorial I will show you how to export this into Blender and how to create a 3D model using an Inkscape file, which is an SVG vector format. Here in the last step you can see how to select all the objects we created and export them as PNG. So I really hope you liked this tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel, here's the link, and also the one to my Patreon account if you want to support me. This would be really cool. Thanks for watching, guys.